Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for joining. We'll get started. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamhayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Vedanta Swami iti namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for your kind association. So let's get started with our Q&A in preparation for our exam on Monday. I hope everybody is able to see my screen. So let's go to the... So just raise your hands, dear devotees. I may or may not be able to see, but just go sequentially from top to bottom. So first question, discuss the significance of Srila Shukadev Goswami not wearing a sacred thread.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, because by birth he was a Naistik Brahman.
Mataji, see, you raise your hand and I will call out your name. Otherwise, there will be chaos.
Prabhuji, I have not written all the questions in English, na only one or two questions, so I replied, Prabhuji.
Okay, what is your good name, Mataji?
Shant Radhika from India.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you. So what did you say? What is the answer?
Because by birth he was a Naistik Brahman.
Okay, does it say like that in the Bhagavatam?
He was a Vaishnava, that's what it is. I mean,
where does it say? You have to give reference.
Prabhuji, it's mentioned that because he was a liberated soul from his very birth. The first paragraph, last line.
See, perfect. That's how you are supposed to answer. You have to answer with reference. You see the screen here? Srila Shukadev Goswami did not undergo any purificatory ceremonies like Upanayan Samskar, where you get the Brahmin thread, because he was liberated soul, not Naistik Brahman. He was a liberated soul from his very birth. Is that clear, Mataji? Shantaradha Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So now, where do we
so
go?
I think we did this one, Prabhuji, yesterday, chapter 2.
No. We did chapter 2, this short questions.
Okay.
Short answers. We did not do this. So next question. Describe the respective stages of Dvija, Vipra and Vaishnava. 2.2. Who can answer this? Okay, so I see at the very top. Okay, you have raised your hand. Amrit Karan Prabhu, go ahead. Amrit Karan Prabhu, you are mute, on mute.
Yeah. Yes, thank
Very
you.
important question.
Yes, Prabhuji. Generally, a man is born as an ordinary being. The purificatory process is born for second time.
What is the Sanskrit verse for this? Janmana jayate shudro
sanskarat bhavati jija vedapati bhavet vipra brahma janati josho iti brahmana.
Wow, very good. So now continue.
Yes, the spiritual master accepts only the sincere inquirer as his disciple and give him a second thread. In this way, a man becomes twice born, or a Dvija. After qualifying as a Dvija, one may study the Vedas. After becoming the well-versed in the Vedas, one becomes Vipra. A Vipra or a qualified Brahmana thus realize the absolute and make further progress in spiritual life until reaches the Vaishnava stage. This means then he becomes the Vaishnava.
So what is the hierarchy? Can you tell? How is the sequential progress?
Yeah,
First,
it's like first we have to accept the secret thread. We become as a Dvija, become Dvija.
So
inquiries, sincere inquiries.
Yeah, Dvi means two, twice.
Dvi means two, yes, twice.
And Ja means Janma.
Janma, yeah.
So Dvija means twice born. So when we get Diksha, it is like a new birth.
Yeah.
So Dvija is the first stage where we get initiated and we start our study. Then after that, what happens?
It's like when we study Bhagavatam, Vedas, then we become qualified as a Vipra.
Vipra.
Yeah. Then actually, when we become realize absolute like Krishna, then and make further progress in our spiritual life, then we become the Vaishnava.
Correct. And here, this is very important. Thank you, Prabhuji. The Vaishnava stage is the postgraduate status of
the Brahman.
Yeah. A progressive Brahman must necessarily become a Vaishnava. So I want to make sure that everybody understands this very clearly. So please pay attention. So first, we accept a spiritual master, we take Diksha, and we become a Dvija. After we become a Dvija, we are supposed to study the Vedas, the Vedic literature. By studying, one becomes a Vipra. Vipra is one who is engaged in the study of Vedas. That is a Vipra. A Vipra, when he perfects his study of the Vedas, becomes a Brahman. And a Brahman, when he realizes that Bahunam Janmanam Ante Vasudeva, when he understands that Vasudeva is everything, Vasudeva para Veda, Vasudeva para Makha, Vasudeva para Yoga, Vasudeva. When he realizes that, then he becomes a Vaishnava. He surrenders to Krishna. Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate. He surrenders to Krishna. Prapadyate means surrenders to Krishna and becomes a Vaishnava. So therefore, my question is, I'm going to make a statement. Please tell me if my statement is correct or it is incorrect. Every Vaishnava is a Brahman, but every Brahman may not be a Vaishnava.
Yes.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
So this has to be understood. One should not think that a Brahman is greater than a Vaishnava. Never do that. Never make that mistake. Look at this. These are Srila Prabhupada's pure words. A Vaishnava stage is the postgraduate status of Brahman. And look at this. A progressive Brahman must necessarily become a Vaishnava. For a Vaishnava is a self-realized, learned Brahman. So when a Brahman becomes self-realized and a devotee of Krishna, he is called a Vaishnava. So Vaishnava is the highest status that a human being can attain. So thank you very much, Amrit Karan Prabhu. That was very nice. Very nice. Okay, so now let's go to the next question.
Prabhuji, can I ask one question or later?
You can ask Mataji. Kirtida Sundari Mataji.
So when we take first initiation, Harinam Diksha, we come under the category of a Vaishnava. And then we take Brahman Diksha.
Correct.
So we basically fall down.
No, not like that. So actually, initiation is actually mantra initiation, mantra diksha. So second initiation is actually the real initiation. But anyway, when we get Harinam, that is called Harinam, the first initiation, it is to be understood that anybody who is getting Harinam diksha has already in the previous life or in the previous lifetimes attained the status of a Brahman. Otherwise, one cannot come to the status of a Vaishnava. So you are right. When one gets Harinam Diksha, one is a Vaishnava. 100%. One is a Vaishnava. So it is to be understood that anyone who is taking first initiation, Harinam Diksha, in the past, that jiva, that soul, has already attained the status of a Brahman. Srila Prabhupada says this. Already they have studied the Vedas. Already that person has come to the level of Brahman. And in this lifetime now, he is getting upgraded, not downgraded, not fall down, upgraded to the status of a Vaishnava. Now, within the Vaishnava society also, there is a further advancement where we get mantra and we qualify as a Vaishnava Brahman. So that is within the Vaishnava realm, but that is not the same Brahman who is studying the Vedas. You understand? That is not in the same category, because these Brahmanas may be karma kandis. Whereas a Brahman in ISKCON who is taking second initiation, he is not a karma kandi. He is chanting the Kam Gayatri mantra to get Manjari Swarup.
Yeah. Yes,
So it is a completely whole different dimension.
thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Hare
I
Krishna.
have a question, Prabhu. This is Amrita Gaurangi Devidasa.
Yes, Mataji.
So, Prabhu, here in this purport or in the answer to this question, we are telling that Dvija is one who gets a sacred thread.
Correct.
But we are not practically doing any sacred thread, and it also means that it's referring only to a man, not to a woman. So how should I understand that, Prabhu? One thing is there is no sacred thread in our Diksha process. Second thing is,
so in our Diksha process, we get the Brahman thread. The men get it.
okay. And for women, what does it mean, Prabhu? Then?
So women never get Brahman thread. Women are not supposed to wear Brahman thread, only men. So
Correct.
traditionally, Mataji, traditionally in the Vedic culture, women don't get Diksha. Only men get Diksha, and only men get Brahman thread on which they chant the Gayatri mantra. And women were traditionally not given the Gayatri mantra. Only the men would do. Men would chant Gayatri, and women never chanted Gayatri. But Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada and our founder Acharya, Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa, Shri Śrīmad Abhay Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ji, they are the pioneers in the history of this planet, where they gave Gayatri mantra to Matajis. Because they are operating on the platform of the soul. And they are teaching us that actually we are not this body. These distinctions are there as far as the Pancharatri ki vidhi is concerned. But on the Bhagavat Marg, these distinctions are gone. Jivera Swarup hai Krishna Nityadas. It is the birthright of a soul to worship Radha and Krishna. And therefore, why should we deprive women from doing deity worship? Traditionally, a woman would never do deity worship. Never. They would never be the pujaris in the temple. It was Srila Prabhupada who is the first Acharya. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was the first Acharya to give Brahman Diksha to Matajis. Traditionally, it never happened. Women were not given Diksha. The husband would be given Diksha, and the wife is considered to be sheltered because she is married to the initiated husband. like that. But the husbands were the only ones who accepted a guru. Husbands were the only ones who got the Brahmin thread. Husbands were the only one who lived in the Gurukul and got training. Matajis never. But Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was the first Acharya to give Diksha to Matajis, and Srila Prabhupada was the first Acharya to bring Matajis onto the altar, to engage them in the direct worship of the deities. So this is very, very historical. And it is a very special mercy that Srila Prabhupada and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur have given to the ladies, the Vaishnavis of this world. Madhuri, I'm sorry, I literally forgot. What was your question? That we don't have.
Yeah, that same question, Prabhu. What is the because thread is given only to a man, and here
Yes.
we're talking about the stages of different progressive stages. So what is women's position and
What is women? So these stages, Mataji, Dvija, Vipra, and Brahman. These stages refer to those who are still on the platform of Karma Kand or Jnana Kand. This is not the transcendental platform. This is still within the purview of Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. But Bhakti operates on the fifth level, the level of Pancham Purushartha. That is the level of Bhakti, which is the next stage, Krishna Prem, the fifth stage, Pancham Purushartha, Purushartha Shiromani. And on that stage, there is no distinction between a man and a woman. There is no distinction. So a Mataji, like yourself, who is a Vaishnavi, who has taken Diksha and who is worshipping the deity, who is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, who is reading Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, you are considered a Vaishnavi. So you have the same status as a Vaishnava. There is no distinction. That means a Vaishnavi is above a Vipra, a Dvija, and a Brahman. So even Matajis can attain the status of Vaishnavi. In the Vaishnava Dharma, in the Jaiva Dharma, there is no distinction between a man and a woman. And the evidence is there in the Shastra. The eternal consort of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Srimati Janava Devi, she gave initiation to the king of Orissa. Gave Diksha, Mantra Diksha to the king of Orissa. Then Srimati Ganga Mata Goswamini, also she was a Diksha Guru in our line. So there is evidence that even Matajis, there is no, on the Bhagavad Marg, there is no distinction. On the Pancharatriki Marg, yes, a woman cannot be on the altar, traditionally speaking. And a woman cannot chant Gayatri Mantra. But only in our line that we see that Srila Prabhupada and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, they're so merciful. They did not want to deprive women of this opportunity. Rarely we get this human birth after going through so many animal species. Why? Why have these restrictions? Let Matajis also get an opportunity. Let them chant the Gopal Mantra. Let them chant the Kam Gayatri Mantra. Let them worship the deity. So yes, so as far as Matajis are concerned, they are Vaishnavis and they have the same status as a Vaishnava, which is the ultimate status. Is that okay, Amrit Gaurangi Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu, I have one more
Prabhuji,
question.
I have one. Okay, sorry.
Go
So-
ahead, Amrit Gaurangi Mataji, then the other Mataji can go ahead.
What is the significance of understanding these various stages, and is it for us to position ourselves whether I'm a Dvija or a Vipra or Brahmana or Vaishnava? What is the significance of these stages? Why should we study and understand them?
This is for us to understand that in the Vedic society, these are the stages that are there. But we have accepted Vaishnava Dharma, and therefore we have to be conscious that our Guru Maharaj has elevated us to the level of a Vaishnava. So now we should not fall down. We should not fall down to the lower level. And we should feel a lot of gratitude that this is where we are. We have been elevated to the platform of Vaishnava. So we should remain true to that. So this we are studying for us to systematically understand what are the different stages in life. So first one may be outside Varnashram Dharma. Then within Varnashram Dharma, one may be a Shudra, one may be a Vaishya, one may be a Kshatriya, one may be a belonging to the Brahmin family. But then Janmana Jayate Shudra. By birth, everybody is a Shudra. Samskarat Bhavedvija. But it is by Samskar, Upanayan Samskar, that we are twice born. So then we become Dvija. Then just by becoming Dvija, getting Diksha, one doesn't become a Brahman. No, one has to study. Oh, then we become a Vipra. And when a Vipra has perfected the study, completed the study, then one becomes a pure Brahman, who's having all the qualities of a Brahman: cleanliness, astikta, having religiosity, everything, tapasya, sense control. And then when we surrender to Krishna, we become a Vaishnava. And look at our Guru Maharaj. He has already given us the status of a Vaishnava or a Vaishnavi, and given us the Vaishnava Dharma. You follow 4 regulative principles, you read directly. We have been given Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Mataji. Just think, if we are told, no, first Amrit Gaurangi Mataji, you go and you study the 4 Vedas, go. So now in the Vedas, you have to study about Indra Stuti. Indra Dev is being glorified, Surya Dev is being glorified, this has been glorified, that has been glorified. You go through all that first, then you come, and then you read this Amala Puran called Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. But look at Srila Prabhupada's mercy. He's coming on the streets and giving us in our hand. We don't want. And Prabhupada is giving us, take Bhagavatam, take Krishna book. So Srila Prabhupada is so merciful. He's elevating us straight to the Vaishnava platform. So we should understand that different stages are there. And now Prabhupada has brought us here. Now we should remain true to the status of Vaishnava. So it is for us to understand what all is there. What are the different stages out there? Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. There was another Mataji who was saying.
Yes, yes, Prabhuji, I had one question.
Can you
This is
just introduce yourself so I know your name?
It's Navina Radha.
Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji, as you said, the Vaishnava and Vaishnavis has the same status after getting the second initiation, but still in Vrindavan, Mayapur, Matajis are not allowed to go in the altar.
Nowhere in India they are allowed.
Okay, so is that
nowhere in India? Even in Radha Rasbihari temple they will not be allowed. Even in Radha Gopinath Mandir they will not be allowed. Even in Mayapur they will not be allowed.
But that means there is a difference, right?
No, there is no difference. There is absolutely no difference. The reason Matajis are not allowed because we don't want to draw unnecessarily attention towards ISKCON, because it is India. In India, no other temple. In India, no other temple you will see a Mataji worshipping on the altar. So we don't want to create unnecessary controversy and draw unnecessary publicity and attention. So we are following that. That generally there are enough men to do it. So Vaishnavas will do it. But Vaishnavis can worship in the home. Nobody is stopping us from worshipping our deity at home. So there is no difference. There is no difference. There is no discrimination.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
It is mentioned in India.
One second, Mataji, let me, dear devotee, my humble request. I don't know any of you with this voice. So just it takes one second, just say, this is so and so, and then start speaking. So I know who I'm speaking to.
Yeah. Shant Radhika from India.
Yes, Mataji.
It is said in India, like whatever husband does, a wife always get the benefit whatever husband is doing. Like 50% of the benefit comes to wife. That is why it is said in India, like ladies don't go to the altar.
Very nice. Yes, as the Ardhangini, the wife also gets. Very nice. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, this is Swati. Prabhuji, if one not get initiation also, like he accepted the spiritual master, but not got even not a Dvija also, then how it will be goes then he has to go all these steps slow by slow?
No.
Where that person will be?
A person is known to be a Vaishnava or a Vaishnavi based on their faith, their Shraddha and their Acharan. So if one has Shraddha, one has faith in one's Guru, one is connected to one's Parampara, and one has the Acharan, one is performing all the activities that a Vaishnava is supposed to perform, like chanting at least 16 rounds every day, following the 4 regulative principles, reading Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, doing Vaishnava Seva, chanting extra rounds, doing Harinam Sankirtan, then one is a Vaishnava or a Vaishnavi, even though one may not be initiated. And initiation will not make any difference at all. It is not that a devotee will not go back home back to Godhead because one is not initiated. Srila Haridas Thakur was not initiated. Srila Rupa and Sanatan Goswami were not initiated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. No, they were not. So initiation doesn't make any difference. Initiation is a formalization of one's relationship with one's Guru. It is sacred, and by all means, wherever possible, one must try to get initiated. But if for some reason one is not able to get initiation, there is absolutely no loss. Absolutely no loss. In your heart, if you have accepted Guru Varan agar kiya hai, if you have accepted Shri Guru in your heart, and you have all the acharan of a Vaishnava or a Vaishnavi, and you have Shraddha, you have faith, then nothing can stop you from getting the mercy of Guru and Gauranga. Is that okay, Swati Mataji?
Okay, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, but I read that once until he is not get initiation, Harinam Diksha, his spiritual journey will not start only. So can you please clear it, Prabhuji?
That is told to encourage people on this path and to tell them the importance that Diksha is important. But it is not that unless one gets initiated, one's spiritual journey does not begin. That is not true. That is absolutely not true. And I have heard this personally from my Guru Maharaj. My Guru Maharaj clearly says that Diksha is very sacred. It is a holy samskar that we do in our Vaishnava society, and it must be done. But it is a formalization of a relationship. Srila Prabhupada also, somebody took initiation and then left. So many devotees left. Srila Prabhupada said they were never initiated. Real initiation happens when one gives our heart to Srila Prabhupada, to Shri Guru. George Harrison was never initiated. But wasn't George Harrison considered a son of Srila Prabhupada? How much he served Srila Prabhupada. We have this Krishna book. He gave, I think, 18,000 or 20,000 US dollars in those days, in the 1970s, to Srila Prabhupada to print the Krishna book first time. And he gave Bhaktivedanta Manor to Srila Prabhupada. He popularized Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He gave a platform for the devotees to cut their first Hare Krishna album. And so many people heard about Srila Prabhupada because of George Harrison. So George Harrison is a son of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada was very fond of him. And Srila Prabhupada told him, there is no need for you to get initiated. You are already initiated because you have given your heart to me and you are chanting Hare Krishna. And I have heard from His Grace Shyamsundar Prabhu, who is a very senior disciple of Srila Prabhupada. I have heard this directly from His Grace Shyamsundar Prabhu. Shyamsundar Prabhu was the only ISKCON devotee who went to meet George Harrison in his last days before George Harrison left this world. And Shyamsundar Prabhu personally said this in a lecture in Radha Gopinath Mandir, that when he went to meet George Harrison, he spent time with him, he spoke to him, and Shyamsundar Prabhu said, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, George Harrison had become self-realized. Now, process that for a minute.
Hare Krishna.
George Harrison had become self-realized before his passing away. He was not initiated. So it only depends on how much love we have for one's Guru Maharaj and what is the level of our consciousness. Diksha is important, but in our society now there are hardly 100 initiating spiritual masters. And I have heard that if you include all the devotees who are attending in some shape or form ISKCON programs, there are close to 1 million devotees in the world. Now you divide 1 million by 100. How many Diksha Gurus are there and how many devotees are coming every day to ISKCON? So there is going to be a great scarcity of Diksha Gurus, and therefore initiation may get delayed. But Krishna consciousness is not restricted or limited by any of these external circumstances. If in our heart we have accepted a Guru, a living Guru, we are not Ritviks. That Ritvik philosophy is bogus philosophy. We need a living Guru. We need a living Guru. Nowhere it is supported, this Ritvik nonsense philosophy. We need a living Guru. Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadyakshanti te jnanam jnaninas tatvadarshi. You cannot do pariprashna with a Guru who has departed this world. So we need a living Guru. As long as one has accepted a living Guru in one's heart and one is engaged in the service of that living Guru through the instructions, through the Vani, one is as good as initiated and nothing will stop. Krishna's mercy will not stop. Mahaprabhu's mercy will not get restricted because one is not initiated. So we should absolutely not have that hesitation in our heart or that lack of confidence in our heart that I will not get the mercy of Mahaprabhu because I am not initiated. Not like that. We should do everything in our capacity to get initiation, but initiation will take its own time because there are so many factors. But that will never limit. If we die today and we are not initiated, but we have taken Guru Padashraya, that is important. We need to accept one living Guru in our life. If we have done Guru Padashraya, then Diksha is not in our hands. Guru Padashraya is in our hands. But Diksha is in the hands of Shri Guru. That Shri Guru will do whenever the time is right. But as long as we are Guru Padashrit, then nothing can stop us from getting connected to the parampara and getting the mercy of Krishna. Please never have this hesitation in your heart. Is that okay, Swati Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna Prabhuji, this is Amrit Karand.
Yes, Prabhuji.
No. It's just in this connection, I would like to tell one line. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentioned, Diksha Purushcharya Vidhi Apekshana Kari, Achandal Brahmane Sakali Uttari. Diksha, without Diksha also, if somebody has chanting very seriously and doing service to Lord Krishna very seriously, they are become pure devotee now.
Jai. Prabhuji, can you put this verse in the chat box when you get time? Okay, if
Sure.
not, it's okay. Or you can send it to me privately. I will share it.
Sure. And also one more line I like to add. Just you told that also Gangamata Goswami also gave initiation to the king of Orissa now. Yeah, Janava
Yes.
Mata and also later on Gangamata also.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is that okay?
Krishna Prabhuji.
Huh.
This is Archana Bhakti Devidasi Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Just again in one point in this line, when we say that if I have accepted Guru, it is also essential that the Guru has accepted me. Both ways it works. So
Yes.
I have accepted Guru, but the Guru has also accepted me, either by word or one way or the other. Then, because once I had asked this question of His Grace Jananivas Prabhu, and about this living Guru. So then Prabhuji said, because sometimes people say that I have accepted Srila Prabhupada as my Guru. I have accepted Srila Prabhupada as my Guru in my heart. So what's the problem? So then Prabhuji said, yes, if Srila Prabhupada told you that he has also accepted you, then that is fine.
Correct. So yeah, and when we do Guru Padashara in ISKCON, taking shelter, isn't it? We go to the Guru and we say that, Guru Maharaj, I want to take shelter from you. And whenever you feel I am ready, you give me initiation. So in Guru Padashara, we take shelter and Guru accepts us as a sheltered devotee. And that is completely fine. So thank you, Mataji, for that point of Jananivas Prabhu. Very true. Because I may say that I have accepted Srila Rupa Goswami as my Guru. So what is the proof that Srila Rupa Goswami has accepted? So therefore, we need a living Guru. Okay. If everyone is okay, let's go to the next question. Explain why the materialistic world is called the darkest region of God's creation. So, His Grace Kaivalya Prabhuji, would you like to enlighten us with your words? Hare Krishna.
So, Hare Krishna. So, everyone in this material world tries to make permanent plans for happiness. Everybody is looking for happiness, but they get really disappointed because they get baffled by the laws of material nature. And therefore, this material world is called darkest region of the Lord's creation.
Very wonderful. Very wonderful. So whether we are Brahma or an insignificant ant, nobody can be really happy in this world. Therefore, it is the darkest region. Very nice. The nature of the soul is to be happy. Anandamayo bhyasa. But this world is dukkhalaya. It is the opposite of our nature. So we are unhappy. So it's the darkest region. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Question number 4. Explain how materialists are compared to the camel. So Amrit Karan Prabhu, go ahead. You are muted, Prabhu. You can unmute yourself, please.
The materialists are actually compared to the camel who realize actually thorny twigs. Who realized thorny twigs because he liked to taste of the twigs mixed with blood. He does not realize that it is his own blood, that his tongue is being cut by the thorn. Similarly to the materialist, his own blood is as sweet as honey. And although he's always harassed by his own material creation.
Okay, very nice. Thank you. Now we have Ajay Govind Prabhu. Compare the concepts explained in 1.2.6 with Srila Rupa Goswami's definition of pure devotional service as described in Nectar of Devotion. Give reference to Bhagavatam 1.2.6 and Srila Prabhupada's introduction to Nectar of Devotion in your response. Yes, Prabhuji, please go ahead.
1.2.6, if we see the translation, it is said that such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. And Anya Vilashita Shunyam Jnana Karma Adi Anavritam Anukulina Krishna Shunyam Bhakti Uttama is also defining the same concept.
Okay. 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 Anybody has any objection or wants to add anything? Okay, thank you, Ajay Govind Prabhu. We have Kamala Gopika Mataji next. Srila Prabhupada writes in purport 1.2.6, quote, "This relation of servant and the served is the most congenial form of intimacy," unquote. Discuss the import of this statement in relation to your own practice of devotional service.
So just Prabhu, I wrote in my own words, in a very short answer. So services becomes more loving, more focused and more intense when you know to whom you are serving. So the relationship between served and the server is a key to progress in a devotional service. Then it becomes more spontaneous and you realize you really enjoy to get satisfaction. More you deep in the relationship, more you progress. So we know that we are the part and parcel, and the God is the supreme, and we are part and parcel of the God. So we have the connection, we have the relationship. But when we come to know that relationship, then we serve Him without any motive or alternative. So you can modify.
No, it's okay. When you write, you can write something about look at this, your own practice of devotional service. So I may write something like this, that Srila Prabhupada wanted us to distribute his books. And when we are engaged in the service of Srila Prabhupada by going out on book distribution, we feel a special connection with Srila Prabhupada. We feel that special intimacy. This is what Srila Prabhupada wanted, and this is what I am doing. You see? So you have to write it in something personal.
Or we can write you, because I serve on altar. So when I started to serving directly to Radha Nila Madhav, then you feel more connection, you know. So
Correct.
Okay.
Radha Nila Madhav means, where are you, Mataji? Which city you are in?
Houston.
Houston. Wonderful. Yes, correct. Okay. So after Kamala Gopika Mataji, we have Sandeep Prabhu.
Prabhu, can I just add one line for the same context, the question, the personal experience which you were talking about? So in my experience, like when you are serving the Guru personally, you know, we get to know the mood of Guru in more details with other actions which are not visible publicly. Like when Guru is giving an instruction to somebody else, you know what his mood is, because sometimes there are personal instructions also given. And when we follow those personal instructions, we get more connected. You know, the general instructions in the class and lectures are always there, but personal instructions do carry more, you know, closeness to our heart, and we take those more seriously.
Very nice point, Ajay Govind Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Personal realization. I can sense that. Thank you, Prabhuji. So who was next?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Sandeep Prabhuji. Bhakti, or the devotional service of Lord Krishna, is meant for those who cannot perform the high grade activities. Refute this statement, giving reference to 1.2.7. Hare Krishna. Okay.
Yeah, so Prabhuji, Srila Prabhupada in purport itself, he starts with this refutation of the statement. So Prabhupada mentions in the first paragraph somewhere, generally it is said that the Bhakti cult is meant for the Shudras, Vaishyas, and the less intelligent women class. But that is not the actual fact. The Bhakti is the topmost of all transcendental activities, and therefore it is simultaneously sublime and easy. It is sublime for the pure devotees who are serious about getting in contact with the Supreme Lord Krishna, and it is easy for the neophytes who are just on the threshold of the house of Bhakti. So to achieve the contact of Krishna is a great science, and it is open for all living beings, including Shudras, Vaishyas, women, and even those lower than the low-born Shudras. So what to speak of high-class men like the qualified Brahmanas. So point is that Bhakti is so sublime and easy for Shudras, Vaishyas, and low-class human beings, then what to speak of high-class men. So it is not that it is not meant for that. but it is other way around.
So bhakti is so powerful that it can elevate even the low class people.
Yes.
So that means that it is not that it is something low class, but it is so
Correct.
powerful that even low class people it can elevate.
Yes.
Whereas other processes cannot.
Yep.
Other processes cannot. Your Jnana Khanda, then Karma Kand cannot, but Bhakti can. Susukham Kartum Avyayam. It is the highest. Another argument we can give here is you take any high class person, high grade person. They're talking about high grade activities now. Take any high grade person who is glorified in all the Shastra, and invariably that high grade person will be a devotee. Ramayana, you take Hanuman.
Yes.
Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, you take Uddhav. You take Shankar Bhagwan. You take Brahma ji. You take Narad Muni. सब लोग भक्त है.
Correct.
ऐसा कोई नहीं मिलेगा, कोई महाजन नहीं है जो कर्म कांडी है या जो ज्ञान कांडी है या जो ध्यान कांडी है. नहीं, सब लोग भक्त है. All the diggaj, they are all bhaktas. That's another refutation. Okay, next.
And Prabhuji, उससे वो श्लोक याद आ रहा था जिसमें भक्त्या केवल तुष्यति माधव.
व्याधस्याचरणो ध्रुवस्य च वयो विद्या गजेन्द्रस्य. What is that after that? व्याधस्याचरणो ध्रुवस्य च वयो विद्या गजेन्द्रस्य का कुब्जाया किं तत्सुधाम्नो धनम् वंशको विदुरस्य
उग्रस्य किं पौरुषम् भक्त्या तुष्यति केवलं न च गणे भक्ति प्रियो माधव.
So this is from Srila Rupa Goswami's Padyavali. Swati Mataji, can you explain this verse quickly? Everybody, devotees, very beautiful verse. Please pay attention.
Prabhuji, I can't, sorry.
I will say the Sanskrit, you explain the meaning in English. Vyadhasya charana.
What is the Vyadas? His
Acharan.
Vyad
was the Dharma Vyad in Mahabharata, hunter.
Yes, he was a hunter. So
or we can take Valmiki. Or we can take Mrigari.
Yes.
तो क्या उसका क्या आचरण था, क्या सदाचार था? वो कोई ब्राह्मण थ्रेड नहीं पहना था व्याध, लेकिन भगवत प्राप्ति हो गई. सो व्याधस्य आचरण ध्रुवस्य च वयो.
What is the age of Dhruva Maharaj? He was 5 years old and he perfected his life.
Correct. So if you see the qualifications for someone to become the Prime Minister of India or the President of the United States of America, there are criteria. You have to be at least 35 years old. So if there is somebody who is 34 years old, very qualified, but he cannot become the Prime Minister or President because there's age limit. Is there an age limit in Bhakti? No. Dhruvasya cha vayo. What was the age of Dhruva? And Kimva Vidya Gajendrasya ka.
What is his education?
Who was the guru of Gajendra? Which Gurukul did he go to? Was he initiated? Was Gajendra initiated? Elephants get initiation? No. Lord Hari came for him. Were the two girls who were worshipping Shila Pilla, were they initiated?
No.
Lord Hari came and embraced them. They were not chanting Kam Gayatri. They were not initiated. They were not chanting any mantras. They were doing Shilpilla, Shilpilla. It's there in a Shastra, Bhaktamal. Okay. So, Vyadhasya charano dhruvasya chak vayo vidya gajendrasya kya kubja ya kimu nama rupam adhikam.
What is the Kubja is not much beautiful. What her roop is.
And Naam, she was not famous also.
Famous.
She was Dasi. Kubja ya kimu nama rupam adhikam kim tat sudamno dhanam.
What money, what Lakshmi has. Sudham was very poor.
So was Sudama a millionaire or a billionaire or a trillionaire? No. So he was very poor. So Sudamno dhanam. Vamsha ko vidurasya.
Vidura's which Vamsha? He was the Dasiputra.
Dasiputra. कौन से वंश का था वो? ऐसा नहीं कि he was from big cool, नहीं. Dasiputra. Vamsha cha vidurasya. Ugrasya kim paurusham. Ugrasen Maharaj, was he Rathi? Was he Maharathi? How many wars did he win? Kuch nahi. How many demons did he kill? Nothing. He was not very powerful personally. But Krishna was so pleased with him that he made him the king of Dwarka. Ugrasen Maharaj. So Ugrasya Bhaktya tushyati kevalam nacha gunaye bhakti priyo madhava. Bhaktya tushyati kevalam. Bolo, Swati Mataji. Tushyati means to please.
Only the bhakti can please. Bhaktya tushyati kevalam. Only the bhakti.
And nacha gunaye.
Nacha gunaye. Not
All
any
this
of
guna cannot. कौन से gun? Acharan.
Acharan.
Age.
Age.
Gurukul.
Dhrup. Gurukul means.
Naam.
Education.
Education.
Riches.
Riches. Physical strength.
Yes.
Vamsha. Wealth. न तुष्यति, इनसे नहीं होता है. भक्त्या तुष्यति केवलम नच गुणाय. Why? One asks why like this? Because
Bhakti priyo madhava.
Bhakti priyo madhava. Krishna is only pleased by bhakti. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so now
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I am Shama Vallabi.
Yes,
Mataji. In that quote end, it is written in conclusion, one who is a pure devotee has all other good qualities, namely knowledge, detachment, etc. But one who has only knowledge or detachment is not necessarily well acquainted with the principles of Bhakti cult. Bhakti is the supermost occupation of the human being. End of it, the purport, Prabhuji. So those who have
Bhakti is supermost occupation. Correct.
See, everything, all other good qualities come.
With
but if
bhakti,
you have all other good qualities, Bhakti will not come. Bhakti may not come.
Correct. There is that verse also in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam that one who has bhakti for Krishna has all the good qualities of all the devatas. Yes. I'm not able to remember that verse, but yes, that verse is there in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. So thank you.
So probably this is Ādi Gadādhara here. Is this statement also a fit answer for the question 7, which refutes the statement of?
Yes. Very good connection. Absolutely. This is also a refutation.
So Hare Krishna Prabhuji, so seventh answer will be like 4 points will come. So we have to write all 4 points like that. This is the, as Sandeep Prabhuji mentioned, the topmost for all transcendental activities, and it is simultaneously sublime and easy. Second one, like contact for Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is a great science and open for all. And even for it is a positive form for positive realization. When it positive service comes, then negativities goes like from it's a positive form like comes detachment from inferior things and attachment to superior things we get, and detachment we'll get for from material things. These all points we have to write. Then
I would Mataji for this question, yes. Because
then
see, but even if you write few points, even if you write 2 points, you will get full marks. Don't worry.
Okay.
But it's a very nice question, na? Very important point, very important siddhanta. So I would write all the points, 4 points. Okay, so now we go to question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this is Divya speaking.
Yes, Mataji.
I just wanted to ask you, since we spoke about Ramayan and Lord Hanuman, how do we explain Vishwamitra? Because he got to associate with Lord Ram so closely, and he's not like considered like a devotee as such. He's more of a yogi, right? And how was he in that position where he was able to associate with Lord Ram so closely and play the role of a superior?
Yeah, so Vishwamitra Muni actually is a very great devotee. It's just that in that Leela, he did not manifest his devotion. So these are very great devotees who are able to participate in Ramayana. They are very, very great devotees, far superior to all of us. But in that Leela, their role is that they don't have to show that they are such great devotees. Given a choice, Vishwamitra Muni would be sitting at the feet of Lord Ram and crying with love. Vishwamitra Muni. But he is given that role, that no, you be my acharya, you be my teacher. So they play that role perfectly. So like that. So actually they are very great devotees. But Vishwamitra Muni is not on the level of Hanumanji. Hanumanji is something else. There's only one Hanumanji. He is the greatest devotee. So like that. But yes, Vishwamitra Muni is very great devotee, but they are doing that Leela. So they don't show that they are very great devotees. They are playing the role of a teacher. Is that okay, Divya Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So question number 8. Who do we have next now? We have Navina Radha Mataji. If you don't feel comfortable, then we have Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji next.
No, yes, Prabhuji, I'll try what I have written.
Okay, 8. Explain
Yes.
significant principles presented in 1.2.10 verse and purport. What is the relevance of these principles for devotees in ISKCON? What changes could be made in your life in order to improve your application of these principles? Give a reference to 1.2.10 verse and purport in your response.
Okay. So I have written that the significant principle in 1.2.10 verse 1 should desire only a healthy life or self-preservation. A human being is meant for inquiry about the absolute truth. Nothing else should be the goal of someone's. Bhagavatam also says that one should not live for sense gratification. One should satisfy the senses only for self-preservation and not for self-gratification. Spend more time in inquiring about the absolute truth. If we follow this lifestyle, then we can do bhakti and we can reestablish our lost relationship with Krishna.
Okay, very good. I like this answer.
Okay,
next, we have...
I have a question, Prabhu. This is Mukta Sangadas.
Yes, Mukta Sangha Prabhu. Harihol.
So, Prabhu, when the closed book exam, when we write this closed book exam, how do you even remember 1.2.10 or any of these verse numbers? Because we have to give reference to these verses, right? But how do we even remember those numbers?
You can ask me. You can ask. If such a question comes and you're not able to remember what the verse is, you just ask. I will tell. No problem.
Okay.
Prabhu, just one thing. I think usually when the question is given and the question is say like 4 marks and a bigger like couple of sentences, then they always give a reference. They always say, okay, tell us, giving a reference of 1.2.6, how does Srila Prabhupada like refuting the statement of bhakti is only for high grade activities and all. So they always mention giving reference to this, and that's why I think the answer becomes concise to that particular context only.
Right.
I think just saying that when you say 1.2.6,
if he
I
doesn't
don't
know
which
what
is
is
the verse.
Yeah. So you just ask. I will tell you, or you can also see. No problem. See, I want to make one thing very clear to all of you, dear devotees. I said this multiple times. We are doing this Bhakti Vaibhava course to become mad for Krishna and Radharani. We want Krishna Prem. This is not meant to be like, exam of the material world. So, aisa nahi hai. Anything, see, the whole purpose is that we want to understand Śrīmad Bhāgavatam very nicely. We want to understand the mood and mission of Srila Prabhupada and our acharyas. So anything you don't understand, the aim is not to fail anybody or to make it difficult. You just simply ask and I will tell you. You can look it up, no problem. Even though it says closed book exam, it's okay. It is not about some competitive, we are not going to, I got 87%, you got 86. It's not like that. This is not like that. We have to simply understand Bhagavatam, understand Srila Prabhupada and our acharyas, and ultimately become mad for Krishna. We want to develop taste for hearing Krishna Katha. We want to develop ruchi for Krishna Nam and Krishna Leela. That's why we are studying this course. Okay, so don't worry. Anything is not clear, you ask. Even in the exam, even if it is closed book exam, no problem. Next. So now these questions are very long and they are actually quite big. So don't worry about them. Whatever we have discussed, usme se aayega, don't worry. Let's go to chapter 3 because we are running out of time. So quick now. You have to raise your hands, okay? Those who want to answer. And I encourage everyone to raise. So closed book, chapter 3. These are the short answers. I like the short answers. List in Sanskrit the 3 Purusha avatars. So Satyarup Mataji and Janani Mataji. Unmute kijiye.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
I am Janani from Karnataka, India.
Hare Krishna, Janani Mataji. Janani also means Mataji and Mataji also means Mataji. So Janani Mataji. So boliye Mataji. 3 Purusha avatars kaun hai?
3 Purusha avatars are, first one is Karanodakashayi Vishnu, second one is Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, and third is Kshirodakashayi Vishnu.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you. And now, Mataji, Satyarup Mataji, who is the collective Paramatma of all living beings?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. This is again from Karnataka, India.
Yes.
So the collective Paramatma of all living beings is Kshirodakashayi Vishnu.
Correct? That is also my understanding. But there is one Mataji I'm forgetting. Mataji, are you there? One Mataji had sent a message to me that I think it was about this question only. That is it Garbhodakshay Vishnu, because she gave some reference that it could be Garbhodakshay Vishnu also, the collective Paramatma.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, this is Shama Kishori.
Hare Krishna, Shama Kishori Mataji.
Yes, I had sent you a message, Prabhuji. So it wasn't about collective Paramatma, but in the same purport, it says that who is the source of all incarnations, and it's mentioned that Shirodakshay is the source of all incarnations, but at another place it is also mentioned that everything comes from Garbhodakshay. So my question was, and we know that Shirodakshay Vishnu also comes from Garbhodakshay, but who is actually the source of all incarnations? Is it Garbhodakshay or is it Shirodakshay?
Who is the what?
Source of all incarnations, Prabhuji, in the universe.
Source of all incarnations. Okay. So see, from Garbhodakshay Vishnu, there is expansion of Shirodakshay Vishnu, who is the collective Paramatma. So that is the answer. So you gave the right answer, Satyarupa Mataji, that it is Shirodakshay Vishnu. Now, here, the next line is the answer. He is called, means from Garbhodakshay Vishnu, there is expansion of Shirodakshay Vishnu, who is the collective Paramatma of all living entities. He is called Hari. And from him, all incarnations within the universe are expanded. So I would say Shirodakshay Vishnu Mataji. What do you think? What is your understanding?
The last line of the purport says that for all the incarnation types, incarnation fountainhead is Garbhodakshay Vishnu.
Where in the purport? Last line?
Last line of purport 5.
And it also says, Prabhuji,
purport 5?
In another place, it also says that Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva also come from Garbhodakshay. So that's where the confusion was, because both are purport.
Okay. This is second Purusha. Source of Vishnu. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Scroll at the end. It says that
at the end of this fifth purport, it is given, Prabhuji, and for all these different types of incarnations, the fountainhead is Garbhodakshay Vishnu.
Okay, but here again it is said that and all the universe are emanations from Shirodakshay Vishnu.
Yeah, I mean that's confusing, bro.
तो ठीक है, देखो अभी क्या बहुत हेयर स्प्लिटिंग करके फायदा नहीं, क्योंकि अल्टीमेटली क्या है, एते चाम सा कलापम सा कृष्णस्तु भगवान स्वयं. So Krishna लिख दो, you will get full marks. Source of all is Krishna, and give reference to the Paribhasha Sutra of Bhagavatam. Ete cham sakalapam sa Krishnastu Bhagavana swayam.
Prabhuji, they asked Purusha avatara. So how can we just write Krishna? Krishna is not the Purusha.
Where is the question?
Third question. All the incarnations within the universe are emanations from which Purusha avatara? So actually the answer is Shirodakshay Vishnu. Because even Brahma, along with all the demigods, they go to the shore of that milk ocean and they approach Shirodakshay Vishnu. And then from Shirodakshay Vishnu, all the avatars come. So the answer is actually...
They approach Garbhodakshay Vishnu.
No, they don't approach Garbhodakshay Vishnu. Brahma cannot approach to Garbhodakshay Vishnu as per my understanding, but whatever Prabhu says.
Mataji, this is actually the answer is Garbhodakshay Vishnu.
Yes,
the question is, all the incarnations within the universe are emanations from. So if you see, if you take Gunavataras, you have Brahma, Shiva and Vishnu. Lord Brahma is coming directly from Garbhodakshay Vishnu. So actually this question, the answer is Garbhodakshay Vishnu. He is the source of all incarnation.
Okay, ठीक है. So let's do Garbhodakshay Vishnu then.
The second one is Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Prabhuji, because the third is also the same.
No, second is Shirodakshay Vishnu.
Okay, third. Yeah.
Second we saw the reference clearly said in the purport.
Prabhuji, I am Shama Vallabi. In the first paragraph end, it is given, and all the incarnations within the universe are emanations from Shirodakshay Vishnu.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's
because
what I meant.
As it is word to word matching is in that line.
Correct.
So that's what my answer was also.
Correct.
But ठीक है, see, even if somebody writes Garbhodakshay Vishnu, I will not make it wrong. It's okay.
Fine, Prabhuji.
So like that.
So Prabhuji, like Prabhupada, if Prabhupada mentions in the purport, so
no, both things are mentioned, na Prabhuji. Both things are mentioned. Shirodakshay Vishnu भी mentioned है और Garbhodakshay Vishnu भी mentioned है. So ठीक है, मतलब इतना कुछ मतलब कोई फर्क नहीं, कोई अंतर नहीं ना, एक ही है. Ultimately, everybody is coming from Krishna. Krishna is not Purusha avatar, but Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajan. So, but anyway, so we can do both Garbhodakshay Vishnu and Shirodakshay. I would go with Shirodakshay Vishnu, but I think Garbhodakshay Vishnu also is not wrong. Itna important nahi, I think it's okay.
But Kshirodakasai Vishnu also comes from Garbhodakasai, na Prabhuji. That is why at the end I think Prabhupada is given that. Fountainhead is Garbhodakasai.
ठीक है, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, no problem. That's okay, I agree. How many Manus are there in one day of Brahma? So who wants to answer this? Who is there on the top? Where did we leave? Sarojanandini Mata, you didn't answer today. So
Krishna Prabhu.
How many Manus are there in one day of Brahma?
There are 14 Manus in one day of Brahma.
Thank you, Mataji. What are indirectly empowered incarnations called? Supriya Vrinda Mataji, Prabhuji?
Mataji, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. This Supriya
Das.
Mitra Vrinda. Yeah, Das. Our last name is Das.
Okay.
What are the indirectly empowered in incarnation is called Vibhutis.
Isn't it Shakti Avesh Avatar? Or is it
No,
Vibhutis? Vibhuti? Okay.
Vibhuti.
Oh, Vibhuti here. Yes.
It's written Vibhutis.
When they are directly empowered, they are called incarnations. When they are indirectly empowered, they are called Vibhutis.
Yeah,
Directly
indirectly
empowered are Kumar, Narad. As far as Vibhutis are concerned, they are explicitly described in Bhagavad Gita. Oh, like that. Among the fish, I am shark. Among the animals, I am tiger. Like that. Yeah. Okay. Everybody agrees with this? Understood?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what is the 4 stages of sannyas?
You give some examples of Vibhuti from chapter.
Hare Krishna. One second, let me mute everybody because somebody is unmuted. Okay, now.
Prabhuji, what did you say about Bhagavad Gita, Prabhuji, in the previous answer?
Bhagavad Gita में विभूति का जो chapter है ना, opulences of the Lord. There Krishna says, among the snakes, I am Vasuki. Among the Nagas, I am Anantashesh. Among the fish, I am Shark. Among the animals, I am Tiger. So among the birds, I am Garud. So that is Vibhuti.
Okay, thanks.
That is Vibhuti. Okay, list the 4 stages of sannyas. So we have, let's see, Manju Bhashini, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Manju Bhashini, Kudichaha, Baguda, Parivrajaha Acharya, Paramatma.
Thank you very much, Mataji.
Prabhuji, the first 2, can you please explain a little bit? This is Sharanagata.
Hare Krishna, Sharanagata Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
So let's go to the, कौन से verse में है ये?
कुटीचका बहुतका तो मुझे वो पता नहीं चल.
13. Number 13, Prabhuji.
Number 13.
Is it? It's not explained in the purport, no?
No, it is not explained.
No.
Prabhuji, this is Mukta Sangadas. It is very clearly explained in 5th Canto, chapter 1, text 27.
एक मिनट. Can someone कैसे जाओ अभी?
I can open the Prabhuji.
हाँ, करो तो. Open.
Muksinga Prabhuji, बोलिए. Which one is that?
5th Canto, chapter 1, text 27.
Chapter 1, text 27.
There it is very clearly explained, all the 4 stages.
So you can click on the V here, which is there. On the, okay.
On the chat?
Just click on the plus sign on the top.
Okay, 1 second.
Click on this V.
And
then you can scroll down. Yeah.
5th Canto.
Chapter 1, 27.
Chapter 1 to set 27.
Chapter 1.
127.
27.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Purport में है?
The purport it is there.
The Paramhamsa stage is the topmost position in renounced life. In sannyas, the renounced order, there are 4 stages: Kutichaka, Bahutaka, Parivrajakaacharya, and Paramhamsa. So, according to Vedic system, when one accepts the renounced order, he stays outside his village in a cottage, and his necessities, especially his food, are supplied from home. This is called the first stage, Kutichaka stage. When a sannyasi advances further, he no longer accepts anything from home. Instead, he collects his necessities, especially his food, from many places, Madhukari. which literally means the profession of a bumblebee. As bumblebee collects honey from many flowers, a little from each, not all the honey from one flower, little bit. So one roti from each house. So a sannyasi should beg from door to door, but not accept very much food from any particular house. He should collect a little bit from every house, madhukari. This is called bahudaka stage. When a sannyasi is still more experienced, he travels the world and preaches the glories of Lord Vasudeva. He's called Parivrajaka. And the sannyasi reaches the Paramhamsa stage when he finishes his preaching work and sits down in one place strictly for the sake of advancing in spiritual life. An actual Paramhamsa is one who completely controls his senses and engages in unalloyed service of the Lord. Therefore, all three of this. So that's the beautiful explanation. Everybody understood? Thank you, Muktasanga Prabhu.
Thank you, Guruji. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, like we see the sannyasis carrying danda in like ISKCON. I sorry if I'm saying it correctly or not. So, what can you please explain what is it? I mean, as compared to this, I mean, like looking at all these stages.
So these are Parivrajakacharyas, our sannyasis. They are traveling, and then ultimately when they attain their higher realization, then they can be called Paramhamsas. Srila Prabhupada, we call him Paramhamsa. Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivrajakacarya. Ashtottar Shata Shri Śrīmad Abhay Charana Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Like that. Srila Prabhupada is the highest stage, Paramhamsa. But, traveling sannyasis are Parivrajakacharyas. They are not living at home and they are not doing madhukari also. They are just traveling everywhere.
Thank you so much.
Dasosmi. So question number 7. What is the, now someone who has not answered should answer, please. What is the general test to identify an incarnation of the Lord?
May I, Prabhuji?
May I?
Yes, go ahead.
So incarnation are distinguished by specific extraordinary, they are saying that the acts or achievement which are impossible to be performed by any living being.
Okay, कहाँ पे दिया है ये?
तो ये 26 में है प्रभु जी परपोर्ट में
28 बता रहा है नहीं 26 में ओके
26 में
परपोर्ट में है everybody agrees
yes
ऐसा कुछ है क्या उसमें कि the incarnation should be mentioned in the shastra also?
No, nothing.
मैंने लिखा है मैंने लिखा है ये additional they are mentioned in the Bhāgavatam and in other scripture, but
because Srila Prabhupada writes that in the small books जो है ना like science of self realization वगैरह ऐसे सारा है तो उसमें है. But anyway, this is good what you said, perfect. Next, give the English meaning.
Prabhu,
हाँ.
Satyarupa from India.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhu, the previous question we said Parivrajakacarya. So when we glorify in the temples after the Jaikar, we say Parivrajakacarya, Ashtottara Shata, Śrīmad, Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj and all that. So during that, what Ashtottara Shata is 108. So what does 108 signify there, Prabhu? Why 108?
There are 108 sannyas titles like Swami, Goswami, Muni, Parvat, Tirtha. So these are all sannyas titles, and there are 108 of them. So that 108 refers to that. So like that. Is that okay?
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Sannyas titles are the 108. Okay.
Prabhuji, this is Navina Radha. Again, can you explain question number 7 again? Because I didn't get that general test to identify.
Means the incarnation has to do some extraordinary activity which an ordinary human being cannot do.
Okay, Prabhuji.
8. Give the English meaning of avatar. So who wants to answer this?
Can I go, Prabhuji?
Yes, Swati Mataji.
Avatar means one who descends. All the incarnation of the Lord, including the Lord himself. It's given in 28th verse. And
Wonderful. Okay, Aradhya Madhavi Mataji, this question is for you. 9. List the 6 opulences of Bhagwan.
Wealth, power, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation.
Yes, very good. Yes, and this is from the Vishnu Puran. Aishwaryasya samagrasya, viryasya shriya. Question number 10. This is for Mataji. I'm not able to see your name. Below Kirtita Sundari Mataji, I'm not able to see your name, Mataji. Your video is on. Give the English meaning of the term Amogh Leela.
Kalindi Priti Mataji.
Kalindi Priti Mataji.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, Amogha Leela means one whose activities are spotless.
Beautiful, beautiful. Activities means Leela and Amogh means spotless. Wonderful. Okay, next. Now, Kirtida Sundari Mataji. Give the English meaning of the phrase Puranam Brahma Sammitam.
This phrase is for the glorification of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, where Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is described as a supplementary to the Vedas and is the literal incarnation of Lord Krishna, and therefore it is not different from Krishna.
Correct. Brahma Samhitam is Krishna's incarnation. Krishna Tulya Bhagavat. Correct, na?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, then next we have anyone who has not answered. Archana Priti Mataji. Archana Bhakti Mataji. When did Shri Krishna appear? 43. You have to unmute, Mataji. Sorry.
I didn't save it. I didn't answer that, Prabhuji.
No, koi baat nahi. 1 second, let's see. We'll figure it out quickly.
Just,
Anybody else?
yeah, just little prior to the beginning of the Kali.
Yes, Dwapara Yuga.
Dwapara Yuga.
Oh, that's
Dwapar,
all. Okay.
43 में दिया है ना?
Yeah.
It says beginning, prior to beginning of a Kali Yuga. That's it. It says
At the end of Dwapara Yuga, beginning of Kali Yuga.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, here it is. See, the personality of Lord Shri Krishna appeared before us just a little prior to the beginning of Kali Yuga. And he returned to his eternal home practically at the commencement of Kali Yuga. Clearly,
right, that's it. Yes.
That's the answer. Okay, dokie.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, do we mention that it is like around 5,000 years ago, or?
Yes, yes, you can mention. Okay. Last question. How can certainly see directly the presence of Lord Shri Krishna in the pages of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 44?
Can I say, Prabhu?
Yes, Amrit Gauranga Mataji, please. Yes.
So one can certainly see directly the presence of Lord Krishna in the pages of Bhagavatam. And if one has heard it from a self-realized great soul, like Sukadeva Goswami.
So if we learn Bhagavatam from a self-realized soul like Srila Shukadeva Goswami, then we can directly realize Krishna.
The first line of the purport.
First line of the purport. One can certainly see.
So for us, it will be Prabhupada and our Guru Dev, right, Prabhu?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
Prabhuji, I think we can also add something here. Simple hearing is not all. One must realize the text with proper attention.
Yes, that was there. Where was this? We heard this somewhere else.
That is in the same paragraph later.
Later, hai? Okay. Yesterday also we discussed this point that we should do with attention.
Yeah, we had Prabhuji like Tadvag Visargo. So Sramanti Gayanti Grinanti Sadhava.
Okay. All right. So this is good. So dear devotees, today I received the manual finally. I was not having any clarity myself because I didn't have the manual, but today one devotee shared the manual with me, the Bhakti Vaibhava manual. So now I will have more clarity. So just give me a day or so to come up with a plan. Monday we will have our exam as scheduled. Tomorrow we will do chapter 4 as planned. And I will give you more clarity about the exam. Please don't worry. And just enjoy your study of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Enjoy your hearing and chanting. And fall in love with Krishna and Radharani. Okay?
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
I wish I had a teacher like you throughout my career.
Hare Krishna.
You're giving such a... I'm really tensed up for...
And you would not have reached so far if you had a teacher like me.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Jai Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.